Good morning. It's been a minute since I've streamed. It's been a long minute. Been almost, I think more than a week, huh? Since I streamed last. But I am back. We're going to try to get back on a normal schedule. Hey, what's up, Artwork Studios? How are you? It's been a minute. Hello, Arvin. Good to see you, Arvin. Yeah, apologies. Life has been a little busy lately. Let's see. Pin that message. Got to do all the housekeeping things. Hello, Stux. I'm doing well. Arwick says, "You good, bro? You look tired." No, I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm well rested. No complaints here. I am gonna go get another shot of espresso here in a minute. Actually, let's see. Stefan finally normal time stream. Hey, Stefan, what's up, man? Yeah, my kids are back in school, so I'm gonna try to get back to kind of my normal schedule of like 10 and 2 o'clock for about an hour each. That's gonna kind of that was kind of my that's that was kind of my schedule when I started doing this whole thing, and then summer kind of knocked me off that schedule. But now that the boys are back in school, I'm gonna try to get back to that. But it's good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. I can finally watch your stream when I'm not sleeping or need to sleep. Yeah, so yeah, I guess I just kind of shared that, but normally I would stream when I first started streaming at the beginning of 2025. I would usually do like an office hour kind of chat stream at like 10 o'clock in the AM Central Standard Time, and then over lunch at like 2 p.m. I'd typically try to like code and stuff over my lunch break. So that's what I'm gonna try to get back to if I can. Hello, Mohammed. So if you're here and you think you're interested in watching me code, I'm not going to be doing really any coding. I'm just going to be chatting, and you guys are welcome to hang out with me and discuss all things. Stefan, new setup? Not new setup. I just I'm using a different camera. I'm using just a plain old Logitech webcam, so that's probably why it looks a little different. But the setup's the same. My couch is maybe pushed in a little bit more than normal, but yeah, no new setup really to speak of. Stux, what are you working on right now? So most of my job at the moment revolves around just automation, a lot of uh, writing, a lot of automated tests. So that's what I'm working on. Our studios. Did summer end? Still don't have a good grasp of summer. Yeah, so summer is over, I guess. I mean, in terms of like the school year, it's over for most places in the U.S. Most people started most people start sometime in August in the U.S. Stux, where are you from? Um, I'm in Kansas. Super dude, you can get fucked. I'm gonna I'm gonna ban Super dude. Wait until you drink boiled coffee. I've never had Turkish coffee. I've seen it being made, but I've never had it. Stefan, I've been on the farm a lot lately. There's always plenty of work here. Well, that's good. Have you guys started back to class yet, Stefan? You're in school, right? No time to code. What? Well, you gotta get some other people to do all that farm work, man. No time to code. That's a travesty. LeBron, Jordan, or Kobe? Can I choose all three? Can I be a fan of all three? Honestly, I think I'd have to pick Michael Jordan though, if it came down to it. I was a big Michael Jordan fan growing up because my dad was a big Michael Jordan fan. Then, as an adult, I watched that documentary, and that made me fall in love with Michael Jordan even more. Stux. I'm really thinking what Super Dude was thinking. Yeah, Super Dude. Yeah, I don't know what his problem was, but my tolerance for people like that is like zero. So I just, I mean, there's tons of other YouTube channels that people can go and like troll on, right? Like, if that's what they want to do with their time, that's fine with me. I just, they don't need to do it here. I wish I had a long break, but nah, next one is like 1 week at the end of this month. You guys don't get long summer breaks. That would suck. I don't know if I'd like that. I mean, I can see the benefit of going to school year round, but I can also see the benefit of being able to take, a couple months off. Not really. Seems like I will be able to finish my first year, though. Well, fantastic, dude. That's awesome. Yes, Michael Jordan for life. Yeah, there's a scene. There's a scene in that documentary where they're talking to Michael, and he's talking about how he gets super emotional because he's talking about the fact that like he wanted to win, and he wanted other people to win, and so he tried to he tried to drag people forward with him, right? And he talks about how that sometimes made people think he was kind of an asshole or that he wasn't a very nice person, right? But he says, winning has a price and leadership has a price, and it was kind of interesting to see that like he cared a lot about winning, but he also cared a lot about his teammates, and it kind of hurt him. Like you could tell he got emotional talking about it. It kind of upset him that people perceived him as being an asshole or being something that maybe he wasn't. Um, but he just wanted them to be a part of it. But yeah, that documentary is so good. Sid, why so close to the camera? I mean, I can back up a little bit, but then if I back up a little bit, I get further away from the microphone. So this is the setup for now. I'm actually not like that close to the camera. I think it's just like the what do you call it? The focal length of the lens, right? It just kind of is what it is. Out of 23, there's only 4 of you who'll finish the whole first year. That sucks. That sucks. What happened to the other 19? They just drop out? Yeah. Yeah. Long live Super Dude and his trolling. Maybe he'll go find a home somewhere else. Steven, don't rub your eyes, please. Why? Why can't I rub my eyes? Does it bother you? Stux. I sent a question in the projects channel. Any comment? Oh. Are you talking about in Discord? Give me 1 sec. Oh, the Discord was kind of... There was stuff going on in the Discord this morning. I wasn't paying attention. Holy moly. Stux, this question is like 6 paragraphs. I cannot answer this right now. I'll have to go read it, Stux. I don't really know what to say. There's too much for me to read at this moment in time. But I'll take a look at it later. I am familiar with Nest Nest.js and Express, but I can't find a job. I'm in Spain from Syria. Give me advice, sir. If you can't, well, I guess I'm curious why you can't find a job. I'm not familiar with Spain or the job market in Spain, so maybe it's just really tough right now. Like the economy there is just difficult. People just aren't hiring. Um, I guess my only piece of advice would be if there are jobs and maybe your skill set doesn't match what those jobs are looking for, maybe you need to consider picking up a new set of skills, right? So if Nest.js and what was the other thing, Express, if those aren't like technologies that are frequently listed on a lot of the job descriptions or job openings you're applying to, you might consider picking up a different stack. Leadership is pain, bro, especially if you're the default leader. Yeah, I think leadership is hard because I think leadership done well is hard because leadership done well implies that you exist to set a standard, hold other people to that standard, hold yourself to that standard, and then also 9 times out of 10 as if you want to be the leader, you're also there to serve others, right? So your whole purpose is to make yourself available to others to support them in whatever way they need to be supported. And then your job is to also hold a very high standard for whatever it is you're doing. Look up Kylie Creeve. Dude is a beast. Well, they just dropped out because we didn't have time to actually learn. Well, that sucks, dude. That sucks. Attending class online is practically the same as not attending. I don't know about that. I liked so in the degree that I took, my degree is in biochemistry, so a lot of my classes had to be in person just in terms of lab work. Like they didn't offer a lot of online sections of the courses that were for my degree, but for my general ed credits, like psychology, history, that sort of thing, I took a lot of those online and it was fine. Stephen, rubbing eyes is bad for health, risk of infection, physical damage. Oh, well, that's a good point, Arvin. I will do my best. It's also probably just not a good practice to touch your face, right? That's probably 9 times out of 10 how you get sick. 6 paragraphs. Yeah, 6 paragraphs. That's crazy, man. Now, I will read it. It's just too much for me to read in one sitting here. Hey, what's up, Ducky Dev? How are you, man? Stux, I'm building that system you just saw in Discord, but I got rejected from Ofcom UK. They weren't polite at all. I don't know who Ofcom is, so I don't know, but that sucks that they weren't polite. I think when you're doing business with anybody, you should try to be courteous and polite and professional. Biochem, nice. Yeah, biochem. My degree was a heck of a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I've never actually used it professionally. I mean, I guess I did a little bit when I was a food scientist, but most of that science was applied science. Like I wasn't actually on a bench, working in a chemistry lab. But who knows? Maybe that'll be my next career arc. Is I'll leave tech and once my kids get out of the house, maybe I'll leave tech and go back into hard science. All the company need big experience, 3 years or more, and I graduated this year. What can I do? I worked as a freelancer. Well, I think freelancing is a great example of a way to get experience. I wouldn't let if those job applications say they need 3 years of experience, I wouldn't let that stop you from applying though. Like I would still apply. Because you only need one person to give you a shot. You know what I mean? You just need to get in front of one person, make your case, and you just need one of those people to give you a chance, right? So it's largely a numbers game, in my opinion. It's like sales. Like you just need a really big, how do I do it? You need a really big top of the funnel right? To wind up with just that one shot, right? You just need that one guy who's like, you know what? I know you're a new grad, but I'm going to give you a chance. And hopefully you can get in front of them and impress them with your freelance experience and your knowledge of whatever your tech stack is, and increase your odds of somebody giving you a chance. I think networking is a good thing. I don't know what it's like in Spain, but here in the US, we have these things called meetups. And I think meetups are good because they tend to be geographically local, meaning like at least here where I am, like the meetup is comprised of people who work in your area. So it's nice to kind of establish a network of professionals who might be willing to like recommend you, right, within their organization, even if maybe you don't meet all their requirements. Ducky Dev, my project, NetGoat, is applying for Open Collective. Very cool, man. Well, I hope you get in. Ofcom is like online. Oh, interesting. Okay. Very cool. Artwork is which college, university, Stephen? Very curious. So I went to a very small school in Southwest. I don't know if you're. I mean, you're in Malaysia, so I don't know how familiar you are with U.S. geography. But I went to a small school in Southwest Missouri, called Missouri Southern State University. Actually, all like my whole family. So my mom went there, my brother, my sister, and me. We all went. My dad went there, but he didn't graduate. But it's a very small. It's a state sponsored school. Um, yeah, it's good. It's primarily a teaching university, so most of the professors there aren't doing a ton of research. It's not. It doesn't have that kind of large university publish or die mentality. So which is nice because your professors are primarily there to teach you, right? You don't get taught by their graduate assistant. Like you, if they have office hours, so you can go and like talk to your professors and actually develop a relationship and a rapport with them. Class sizes were pretty small. Like, if you go to like the University of Missouri, you'll be in like a class of like 200 people. Um, Whereas my classes were usually like, I don't know, the largest class I ever had was probably like 40 people. Crystal, what are you talking about, Stefan? Oh, because of the biochem? Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I've watched Breaking Bad a lot, but I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to manufacture that stuff. Ducky Dev, do you have advice for projects growing fast? Because I'm so dang confused on what to do next. Yeah, I've never had a project grow fast. So my advice would be, I don't know, keep working on the thing that keep doing the thing you're enjoying, because obviously whatever you're doing, people like it. So keep doing more of that. But yeah, I could not give good advice because I've never lived that out. Yes, Arvin, crystals is bad for your health. RxU is Missouri. That's a nice state. Yeah, nothing wrong with Missouri. Ducky Dev, Missouri or Missouri? It's Missouri. Yeah, we're just one of those flyover states, you know. The Midwest here in the U.S. gets kind of a bad rap, probably for some justifiable reasons, but for the most part, the Midwest is full of good people, good hardworking people, um, who are very down to earth, who are just trying to create a life for themselves and their families, and yeah, I very much appreciate where I grew up, and the town I grew up in. 200. Oh, 40. That's closer to what the class sizes in my school is like. Most populated school in the state of Pinyin. Yes, if you go to some of these larger universities in the U.S., like especially for like the more general education courses, like you're gonna have huge class sizes, and 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have some type of like graduate student teacher. Like you won't always be taught by the actual professor. Um, but that's because at these universities there is a publish or die mentality where a lot of the professors are primarily there as researchers. They're there to do research, publish work, raise grant money. Um, it's just a whole thing. So, Stefan, I wasn't gymming for almost a week and my strength fell by at least 15%. I bet it comes back though very quick. Very quick. Like to me, that's more of like a neurological efficiency thing than you actually lost 15% of your strength. Um, so I'd imagine you're going to reclaim 15% pretty quick. Damn, they should be paying us to go. If only. If only. Oh, nice. Leg day today? Good luck, my friend. Good luck. Leg day on a Monday. That's brave. Monday is International Chest Day, don't you know? You don't do legs on Monday, you do chest on Monday. All right, I'm gonna get I probably need to put up like some kind of text, don't I, on the screen so that people stop by the stream. They're like, "Why is there just an empty couch in this this live stream?" Let's see. Let's put some text on here. Just gonna do message, and then I'll do BRB. Why is that so big? Don't say it. Don't say it. How do I center this thing? Center horizontally? There you go. Obviously, I've done this before. Sorry. You can't even see that. It's too blown out. How do I change the color? Select color. There you go, that's better. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna mute myself. Don't let me forget that I'm muted. Wait, you guys hate Nightbot? Whoops. It's on that one. You guys hate Nightbot? Do you want me to turn it off? I can turn Nightbot off if you guys want. Or at least I can turn those timers off if y'all want me to. I'm happy to do it. We should write the most random things. I don't know. I've got two little boys. I don't know if you guys could throw me off my game. Arvin, that hairstyle, Steven, don't do it to us. Oh, you don't like my hair? Oh man. Well, as long as my wife still finds me um, relatively attractive. But if my wife ever says she doesn't like my haircut, then we might have an issue. I might have to consider a different hairstyle. There we go. That's better. No, your hair is so rizzy. I don't know. I wouldn't call. I mean, I'm 32 years old and I'm married, so I wouldn't say I've got any riz anymore. Stefan, it's the most goated hairstyle of all time. I'm probably due for a haircut. It's kind of funny because I can see like I can almost look at my YouTube video thumbnails and I can see like the timeline of my haircuts because I always try to go as long as I can without getting one. The only thing you lack is a nice piece of manly mustache. I cannot grow facial hair. So my facial hair grows in, but it's just patchy. It's like all over the place. It never actually like forms a unified piece of facial hair. Why is There we go. That's better. Truly a man who's dedicated to his wife. I mean, yeah, I mean, why would you marry someone if you didn't like them? You know? Like I love my wife. She's my best friend for sure. Like I've actually the last 2 days or the last 3 days, she's been traveling. So she actually flew to a different state, and it's been really weird because it's probably the longest. Like we're very rarely apart from each other for multiple days. So it's been weird being away from her. It's also been weird being like a solo dad. Like I haven't since my kids have been born, I really haven't done like a solo dad weekend at least in a long time. Maybe not ever. I don't even remember doing it. But it's been very odd not having my wife around. Stefan super manly. Yeah, I don't know. My brother-in-law, he has a nice beard. Like I respect people who can grow nice facial hair. Tyler, how much for a haircut? So we go to this place called Sports Clips, just because it's close by. Um, and a haircut there is probably between it's probably like $25, I guess, for a haircut. Maybe more. No, probably 25, I would say. Because if I take both my kids, like if I get both my kids' haircuts cut there, it's like $50. So yeah, in that neighborhood. She's probably missing you right now, Steven. Yeah, I talked to her earlier. Her flight is actually back. We got to go pick her up from the airport today, actually. So her flight comes in this afternoon. I got to get the boys from school, and then we'll head to the airport and pick her up. I'm excited to see her. I mean, why would you marry somebody if you aren't gonna miss them? You know, in my opinion, you're doing something wrong. Fire Spirit. Hi, long time no see. Hello, Fire Spirit. Thanks for stopping by again. Appreciate you. Hello, Elias. I'm doing good. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. It's been a minute. The summer really knocked me off my stream schedule, and then the last couple weeks life has just kind of been busy. I had a developer conference last week that was an absolute blast, and so I didn't really do anything. All I did for 3 days was talk about code and technology and talk to other people about it and listen to other people talk about it. So the last 3 days I kind of took like a detox from tech and coding and programming. I just kind of like took a breather. But yeah, life's been a little crazy. So I haven't actually streamed in probably, this is the first stream in probably 7 days, I think. Stefan, then I'm the manliest of them all. You are if you have three. The haircut I get here is like 10. Yeah, I'm guessing I could find a cheaper haircut. We just kind of landed sports. It's convenient. It's right there. But I bet there's cheaper places to get, especially for little boys. I'm sure there's, like for my two kids, like I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. I'm sure there's places I could get their hair cut cheaper. But the people there at the place are nice and they do a good job, so we just stick with them. Fire Spirit, yo, you sad? No, I'm not sad. Other than I do miss my wife. I mentioned my wife's been traveling, so I've been without my wife for 2 or 3 days, and it's been kind of weird. So I'm excited to get her back and to see her this afternoon. But no, not sad. Just working. Just working. I'm working. I'm chatting. So if I have like a 1,000-yard stare, it's probably because I'm reading somebody's message and trying to figure out what the heck they want from me. Let's see, how is Learning Go going? Learning Go is going well. So I've been trying to dedicate about an hour a day to it. I started working through a Pluralsight course. My work provides a Pluralsight subscription kind of as part of our benefits. And so I've been doing a Pluralsight course through Go. I know it's going to take a while to be good at it and to be adept at it. So I've just kind of said, okay, I'm going to spend an hour a day or so on it, do a little bit every day, and hopefully by the time December rolls around, I'll feel comfortable enough with it to do Advent of Code. But yeah, it's going well. Why is there no more CrossFit class on the channel? I just haven't streamed while I've been working out. Working out, it's one of these things. It's kind of a catch-22 because when I work out, that's kind of like my time, right? And so when I stream, it's like inviting a whole bunch of people into that time. And so it's just something I've struggled with. Like, do I want to keep streaming workouts? It just depends on the day. And the last 3 or 4 months, at least through the summer, the thought in my mind has been, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna keep my workouts for me. Hello, Herman. I don't know why. Okay, Herman. That's enough, Herman. We see you. Watching Steven while listening to Serbian folk music while being crippled after a leg day. Life can't get much better than this, honestly. That sounds like a lot of inputs. Yeah, the thousand. I do the 1,000-yard stare, and my youngest son does the 1,000-yard stare. Whenever you can always tell when he's thinking about something, right? Or you've told him something, and now he's processing it because he kind of does a 1,000-yard stare. So it must be genetic. Gasper is so cringe. You mean I'm cringe? Well, I guess I better get used to it. I'm a dad, so I'm guessing I'm going to be hearing that from my kids here in a couple of years. Gaspar. Sorry, how are you? Hold on, Gaspar. Did you really come in here, tell me I'm cringe, then apologize for telling I'm cringe? That's, that's the most confusing social interaction I've had on YouTube chat so far. I don't watch soccer. I think when you say football, you're referring to like soccer or what I would call soccer. But no, I don't. I don't watch soccer or football. All right, Stefan. Yeah, get that coffee, man. Got to get caffeinated. Emily just came on here. Don't care about cringe. What do you do? What do I do? So my job. You can actually go and if you're interested in going and creeping on my LinkedIn, I can put that in the chat there for you. But my day job. The title of it is senior quality and reliability engineer. But currently, a lot of my work is heavily on the quality side. So I'm doing a lot of test automation for a really large regression library that we have and just trying to get it to the point where it doesn't require as much manual intervention. One good thing is that one day your kids can look back at these streams and see what their father was doing when he was live. Yeah, there's a ton of videos on my YouTube channel that are vlogs from when my kids were like, I don't know, till my oldest was like 6 or 7. I vlogged almost every day to some capacity. And one of my big motivations for that was I thought it would be really cool for them to have that footage. And as they've gotten older, I've kind of fallen off vlogging. Um, Mostly because as they've gotten older, they've become much more self-aware and self-conscious about being filmed or being included in videos. Um, but yeah, maybe I pick that back up. But yeah, definitely the footage I do have of them and the footage I have of myself, I'm hoping it's something that they value when they're older. Gaspar or basketball? I like basketball, but I don't follow it very closely. At least not until it gets to like NBA Finals or the NCAA tournament. I don't really follow it during the season though. My the number two sports I follow are football, American football, and baseball. Those are the two sports I follow the most close. Emily, so automation? Yes. Yep. We use Playwright. Um, I mean, I've worked with Selenium, I've worked with Cypress, but I'm the only test automation person where I work, so I kind of was the one that got to pick what technologies we used, and Playwright is by far the best. How old is your oldest kid now? He's 9. So I've got a fourth grader and a second grader now. It goes quick. Theoretically, in the U.S., you kind of consider people adult when they turn 18. That's usually you graduate high school. Then that's kind of when you figure out what your next step is in life, right? Most people get a job. Most people move out of their parents' home. They get a job or they go to college. That they kind of figure out what's next for them. And so yeah, like theoretically, I'm halfway done with my oldest kid, because 9 and then 9 more years would be 18, and it's gone very quick. It's unbelievable how quick 9 years goes, honestly. Hello, Ben. How are you? Good to see you again, man. Arvin, Steven, do companies care? Hold on, hold on. Let me start this again. Do companies care for automation tasks being done regardless of method, like plain Python, Perl, etc., or they care to use these automation frameworks like Ansible and Selenium? Well, Arvin, Ansible and Selenium are automation frameworks for very different things. Um, if I was, but if I was to answer that question, I think what people care the most is that the task is automated. Now, the people who are doing the automation might care about the particular implementation, what technologies, how are we going to do this, right? As a team, collectively, they may have input, right? If you're a one man shop, well then you get to decide how you want to automate it. But the business, the companies, they just want things automated, right? They just want the efficiency gains of automation. Um, as a team, right? Like the people who are doing the work, they're the ones who have an opinion or care about what language it's written in, what framework you use, right? That's going to be up to the people who are responsible for managing and maintaining the automation. Sorry. Steven, Stefan, Stefan, you're back with your coffee. Wonderful. Sorry, guys. I was ignoring you for a second. Does anyone else read Blue Sky as Blue Ski? No, I read it as Blue Sky. Hey, Landon. How are you? Steven, I want to ask in companies and cooperations, what are key points they use to hire you? I think I think there's two things that are super important when you're getting hired or when people are interviewing you or evaluating you for a position. I think first and foremost, you've got to have the skills they want, right? You've got to be able to do the work they're going to need you to do. The second thing, though, and I think the thing that most people underestimate is they want to know if they want to work with you, right? They just want to know if you're genuinely a nice person who's easy to work with, that you can carry a conversation, right? None of us want to work with assholes. None of us want to work with jerks. So I think those are kind of the two big areas, right? Like they want to make sure that if they hire you, you can do what you say you can do. And then second, they want to make sure that you're also like a cohesive fit for their team, that you will fit in nicely, that you'll get along with people, they'll be able to get along with you. I think those are the biggest points, in my opinion. Hey, quick question. I love your content. Were you always a natural in front of a camera, or is it something that you had to work on? Well, I don't know if I'm a natural in front of the camera. I appreciate you saying you love my content. That's very nice. Way too kind of you. I am definitely not a natural in front of the camera. So here's the story of one of the stories of why I started making content. So growing up, I got made fun of a lot because of my voice. My voice is kind of nasally. It's not the most enjoyable thing to listen to, and I was always very self-conscious about my voice. So when I was personal training early on, I was like 18, 19 years old, I decided that I wanted to get over this self-consciousness I had about my voice and the way it sounded. And so I decided, well, I'm going to start making content around my personal training business, right? It'll help me get more business, and two, hopefully it'll help me get over the self-consciousness I have about the sound of my voice. So I just started making a lot of content, editing that content, and then publishing that content. And that forced me to listen to myself a lot, which was almost like exposure therapy. It helped me no longer care what I sound like. The way I sound is just the way I sound. However, the byproduct of that was I got a lot of reps talking to a camera. And so now sitting down to do a presentation or make a video or do a live stream is not something I have to put a whole lot of mental energy into. I just turn it on and go. So it's definitely not a natural thing. It's just lots and lots of reps. I think I've shared before, there's one channel on YouTube here. You can search it. It's called Freeborn Training Systems. That was kind of my original YouTube channel. It was all around fitness content. There's probably 1,000 plus videos over there. Then there's this YouTube channel, which has over 500 plus videos on it, right? So I wouldn't say I'm the best in front of a camera, but it's kind of impossible to make 1,500 videos and not at least get comfortable talking to a camera or being in front of a camera. Sorry, I'm behind on the chat here. You got a free Chromebook? That's awesome, Landon. You good, Steven? Yeah. Sorry if I go into a 1,000-yard stare there. I plan to put Linux on it because it does not run well. That would be a great way to revive that piece of hardware. Stick some Linux on it. I've always had good luck with Chromebooks. I haven't had any bad experience with Chromebooks. So, but if you're not liking the way it's performing, why not put some Linux on it? Try what's the new thing from DHH? Omarchi? I don't know how to pronounce it, but DHH has a new kind of like it's built on top of Arch, but it's sort of like his own distribution of Linux now. That looks pretty cool. That was actually good insight, Stephen. Thanks. Of course, yeah. Hopefully, I always when people ask me questions about work, I always try to answer it from the perspective as if my older sons were asking. Like what advice would I give them? Artwork Studios, your voice is soothing, Stephen. Well, you're the first person who has ever said that, so I appreciate it. Stefan, my wisdom tooth is coming out. Really painful eating these almonds. That sounds horrible, Stefan. I don't do well with teeth issues, teeth problems. Like my wife pulls all my kids' loose teeth. I can't do it. Can't deal with it. Hello, KS. How are you? Good to see you again. Crazy how if you think of us, the viewers, we'd just be a camera wearing a suit. Well, yeah, I mean, basically. Ben Johnson. Ben John. Awesome. Yeah. I don't know if that's helpful, but I think most things in life come down to just getting lots of reps, right? So I know that probably so I guess I should first say that like a lot of life is luck, right? A lot of life is the circumstances you're born into, who your parents are, who your siblings are, where you live. Like a lot of things in life are just pure happenstance. But if you want to be good at something, if you want to develop at something, in my opinion, it largely comes down to reps. You need lots and lots of reps at whatever it is you want to be good at. I always think of there's this there's this clip from this motivational YouTube video that I watch every now and again from this guy named Eric Thomas. He's kind of like a motivational speaker, public speaker, I don't know, influencer, I don't know what you want to call him. But there's a clip in it. There's a clip from one of his videos where he says, you know, he basically says, I dare you to fail at something long enough to be good at it, right? And I think that's the secret, right? And that my son's playing his second year of tackle football right now, and he's not the biggest kid, he's not the most athletic kid, but I keep telling him like, if you keep working at this, there is no other option besides getting better, right? And so I keep telling him like, look, you may not be the best kid on the team now, but you've got a lot of years left of playing football. If you focus on this and you get lots and lots of reps, you will get better. You will become a better football player. And that goes for anything, right? Programming, coding, welding, jiu-jitsu, baseball, selling, creating content. The problem is most people aren't willing to fail at something long enough to actually be reasonably good at it. They give up after like 5 attempts, 6 attempts, 7 attempts. We're talking about Clippy in the chat. Who's Clippy? See you, Stux. Have a good day, man. Excuse me. Hello, Nav. I think Geometry Dash helps with that, as you can't beat a level 1. You can't beat a level 1 first, second, or third attempt, but need many attempts to beat a level. Oh, that's interesting. That's a very interesting. Sounds like a very interesting game mechanic. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think games are interesting, right? Because the feedback loop in a game is so fast that a lot of people don't have an issue with failing at a game because the feedback loop is so quick, right? In life, though, the feedback loop is so long, right? You think of something like trying to get in shape, you know, you've got to go to the gym for a long time before you get any feedback that you're actually getting in better shape, right? And I think that's probably even the makes it even more troublesome, right? To learn something new or try something new is like you're gonna not even necessarily fail at it, right? You have to be willing to continually do something again and again and again for a very long period of time, and most people are just not good at that. For me, speaking is something I'm trying to improve, especially when I'm presenting a system design during design reviews. Thank you. You are really inspiring. Keep up the great work. Well, I don't know about inspiring, but that's super kind of you. And yeah, man, if you continue to present system designs at design reviews, if you continue to get reps doing that, you will get better. It is inevitable. So keep stepping up to the plate, keep taking your at bats, and you'll get better at them for sure. Nav, how's your day going? My day's going good. Yeah, my day's actually going to be great here in about 6 hours or so. My wife comes home today from a trip, and so I'm very excited to see her. I've been missing her for 48 hours, 72 hours now at this point. So my day's going very well, and it will get even better here in a little bit. See you, Arvin. Good luck with coding. I hope it's very productive and not at all frustrating. It's just hard, yeah. Gabby, yo, you in jail? No. Not if you count working from home being in jail, which I would never count that as the same thing, but I mean most days I don't leave my house. Actually, there are times for like multiple days in a row I don't leave my house. Or at least I mean I might leave my house to go like on a walk, but I don't like go out and about, which I don't mind. I love working from home. It's probably I don't know. It's got to be one of the best things that's happened in my life in the last 5 years was getting a job where I could work from home. Bukan, hello. What are you doing? I'm just hanging out, chatting with you guys. Bukan. I call this an office hours stream, so it's really just I'm doing my work and I'm chatting with you guys. And so this is just a way for me to make time to interact with you all, answer questions, and then some of this content makes for good shorts content. So I can repurpose some of our conversation for shorter videos. But yeah, nothing crazy. Stefan, can you give me your thoughts as a professional on Kyle Curvey? I really want to see your reaction. I don't know who that is. Oh, he's like a bodybuilder, professional bodybuilder and powerlifter. I mean, he looks jacked, Stefan. I mean, the guy obviously puts in work. So he's an IFBB pro. I mean, yeah, dude looks like he's in great shape. So that's awesome. You, sir, why you choose to stream in YouTube? Well, YouTube is where I've had the most interaction, honestly. So at the beginning of this year, when I started doing some live streams, I was streaming to Twitch and YouTube. and Twitch was always dead. I like had no viewership over there, no chatters. So I stopped, and then I started streaming vertically to YouTube and to TikTok. And TikTok was kind of the same experience, just like dead from an interaction standpoint. And so I killed off the stream to TikTok, and I've just been focusing on streaming to YouTube. Gravity Wolf. I like working from home, but God, I don't want to be home after work. Oh man, no. Being home after work's the best part. That's when my kids come home, my wife's here. That's when all the family time happens. Levi, want to know the truth about Virginia. That Levi, that's random. Satya, hi. Hello, Satya. How are you? Ben, have you integrated Tmux to your workflow? Curious. No, I don't use Tmux. I use Windows Terminal, and that has the ability to split panes and do a lot of the things I think Tmux does. So I don't think I have a need for Tmux. I also don't think I can use Tmux, right, on Windows. But yeah, I haven't had a need for it. I'm super happy with Windows Terminal. I think Windows Terminal is really great. Can you give me your opinion on Terry Davis? Is Terry Davis the guy who um, built his own operating system and then he had some mental health struggles, didn't he? Yeah, he had some was it schizophrenia? But he created Temple OS. I mean, it sounds like he was a very brilliant man, but also sounds like he had some struggles, which seems like it's something that often comes hand in hand. Brilliance often comes with some. I mean, you look at people like Robin Williams, right? Or who's the other guy I was thinking of? It escapes me. Anthony Bourdain's another example. I mean, these people who are incredibly creative, incredibly brilliant, often it seems like they struggle with other aspects of their life. 400 kilogram squat, 400 kilogram deadlift, 300 kilogram bench press. Yeah, that dude's strong, Stefan. He is stacked and strong. I do not know what you're talking about. Ho, Horeg. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yes, sir. I hope you're the best. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's very kind. Stefan, the point of TMUX are sessions, not splitting panes. Ah, well then there you go. That totally shows my ignorance and how much I haven't used TMUX. Is that so, Stefan? I guess what you mean there is so TMUX allows you to basically fire up a bunch of applications or like organize your terminal in a particular way with particular things open and then close it and like resume that session. Is that what you mean? I mean, obviously it would help if I had used Tmux. I'd understand better. They provide persistence and organization for command line work, especially in remote or long running tasks. Oh, okay. So I could see that being helpful. So you could like start a Tmux session and you could run like your node server in that session. And then you could close that and it's still running. And you could also resume that session at any point in time. Okay. I see that. That's nice. Especially on different machines. Yeah, I could see that for sure for people who are working across machines. That, yeah. No, I have. Well, then from that standpoint, no, I have not found a need for that. Uh, but yeah, that does sound actually very handy. If I ever succeed in life, I promise to always stay human, stay grounded, and stay grateful. I think you mean stay humble, right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you always want to be humble. I have switched to using Tmux. On Windows, I mostly use Ubuntu. On WSL, did create a similar bash script to search project and create a session. Oh, that's cool. You kind of hack together your own version of it. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't done complex enough things to feel the need for something like Tmux. Yeah, I mean the biggest change to my workflow in 5 years has been trying to use NeoVim. I mean, yeah. So, or I guess I should even say maybe not even use NeoVim, but learn Vim motions. That was the most significant change to my workflow. Evren, I think that's how you say your name. Hello, Evren. And then I think that takes care of your request there. Hello, Toad Sage. How are you? Yeah, long time indeed. Yeah, it's about more than a week. I haven't streamed in like more than a week at this point. But good to see you again, Toad Sage. Yeah, Artwork Studios, that's actually my favorite thing. So I started streaming regularly in like February of this year or so. And the fact that there's actually people who come back to more than one stream is the best part. Because when I started, it was literally nobody. It was just me sitting in front of a computer talking to myself. So it's actually quite cool to have people who come back and I recognize them. Steven, it's all because you use Windows. Nice. This is the source of all my issues. I actually there was someone who left a comment on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. It was on one of my YouTube videos, and he was like, "Why would you use this when Linux exists?" And my response was basically because I like developing on Windows. I like using Windows the same way you like using Linux. I mean, people can just have preferences. You don't have to have a dissertation for why you use the things you use, right? You can just enjoy them. Stefan, get rid of Nightbot. Give us the Daybot. Dude, Nightbot. I still think Nightbot is it's one of those things that I can't believe it's free. Like I can't believe they don't. Yeah, I can't believe people. I can't believe I can use it for free. Same thing with Stream Elements. Like these are really really cool pieces of software that people make and just let other people use for free. It's wild. Mariano sounds like a lie, Yomi. Lie to me. Fair enough. But Linux guys think they got the best. Windows is the cause of all bad things. So I'm in the transition phase of switching to all out NeoVim. So far, managed to move most of the workflow to terminal based, except stuff like debugging, which I'm still figuring a sweet spot. Yeah, debugging that, and honestly, Ben, I had watched the Primeagen for like 2 years straight now, work in NeoVim, like in all his streams. And what held me off from making the switch earlier was the debugging. Um, it wasn't until I watched, I think it was, yeah, I think in Typecraft's NeoVim for Noobs course, he sets up a debugger for Go, I think. And that's what convinced me. It was like, oh, you can actually do, because one of the biggest things I do in my workflow when I'm programming is I like to write tests and then I also like to debug the tests, right? So it was like if I can't do that in NeoVim, that's not really going to be viable for the way I like to work. Um, but yeah, it's definitely like a journey, right? To find your right setup for your language. It's a fun side quest to go on. The biggest thing I've taken away from using NeoVim has been Vim Motions. That's been my now like all the IDEs I use. I use Vim Motions in VS Code. I have Vim Motions set up in Visual Studio, in Writer. I have Vim Motion set up. Yeah, it's all there. If I start streaming, I'll use Nightbot. Yeah, Nightbot's great. Like I think it was Butterscotch, who's somebody who's been in my chat pretty regularly. It was Butterscotch who turned me on to Nightbot, and it's great. Sleep well, Artwork Studios. See you, man. Yeesh. Sorry, Stefan. I hope your tooth problems go away, or at least get better. By the way, currently working on rigging the model and trying to implement it as a personal assistant on my system. Try to make it low poly as possible. Rigging the model and trying, huh? Oh, are you talking about like an LLM, Toadsage? I'm guessing. Borolingo. What's a freeborn? A freeborn is one of me. I don't know. That's my last name. I don't know the origins of it, but that's my last name. See our studio. Sleep well, man. Get some rest. Stefan, it's so annoying. Yeah, dude, that's the tooth pain is the worst. I worked in the ER for like 3 years in college as a medical scribe, and we would get people that would come in with dental abscesses and stuff, you know. And I always felt so bad for them because you could tell they were just in so much discomfort. See you, Ben. Have a good day. Yeah, man, thanks. I appreciate it a lot. A lot of kind words from you, Ben. I hope you have a good day, man. Toad says, nope, it's 3D model. Working on rigging the model and trying to implement it as personal assistant. So the 3D model is going to be a personal assistant? I don't know. I got confused with the wording, Toad Sage. I'm sorry. Hey, Oxnell, how are you? Ben John, we should definitely collab. Yeah, man, join our Discord. Get in our Discord, and if people have ideas for projects, they're always welcome there. Oxnell, where do you even get these jobs from? What jobs? What are you talking about? Oh, is it really 11:30? Oh, wow. Oh, having a visual representation on screen. That's cool. That sounds very cool. That sounds like a very cool project. You should whenever you get it working, give us a screenshot. You'll have your own little Jarvis on your computer. All right. Well, I just realized it's 11:40. I got to run to a meeting. This morning's stream went by really fast, but I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, giving me company. It was good to see a lot of familiar faces. I don't know. You said you were medical at some time, another time. Oh, so I just kind of had an eclectic career, Oxnell. When I got out of high school, I became a personal trainer. I got certified, started working as a personal trainer. Then, like a year or two into college, I got a job as a medical scribe. Um, how did I find that job? I don't even remember how I found that job. But the reason why I got that job was because I wanted to be a doctor originally. That's why my degree is in biochemistry, because I thought I was going to go to medical school. Um, and then the food scientist thing, I graduated. I graduated college, and then like a year after graduating college, the place where I was working as a medical scribe, they lost the contract, and so I just had to start applying for jobs. And I needed something where I could use my degree, and so I lucked into the food scientist gig. I think I found that gig on Indeed.com. I think is where I found that. But yeah, it's just kind of been a little bit of an eclectic career. Okay, yeah, I should go, or I'm gonna be late. All right, bye Toad Sage, bye Arvin, bye Oxnell, Ben John. I think Ben's already gone. Yeah, appreciate you guys. All right, I'll be live again later. So if you see me live, stop on in. If not, no worries. I hope you guys have a good rest of your Monday. If it's already Tuesday for you, have a great rest of your Tuesday. Bye. Bye.